Were you in any danger at any given time?
Yeah, I mean, we were constantly frightened making The Look of Silence. We took all sorts of safety precautions to make the confrontations as safe as possible. We would have a getaway car ready to evacuate Adi as soon as we were wrapped the shootings, so that hopefully, unbeknownst to the perpetrator, he could leave while I would stay back and break down the equipment, but also try to calm down the situation so that the perpetrator was less likely to call the police, or less likely to call the police quickly.
Is he in danger?
Adi's family said, there's so much momentum, the film should come out now. We're willing to move to Denmark if necessary. The team that released The Act of Killing said, there's been so much change that we actually think that if Adi stays in Indonesia and we can assemble a robust enough team to monitor the family's safety, Adi should be able to play a leading role in the movement for truth, justice, and reconciliation that we're sure this film will inspire. And that's in the end what's happened. The family's in another part of the country. The children are in better schools. We raised money for a scholarship fund for the kids to go to whatever university they should wish, for Adi to open a brick and mortar optometry store, and for a better life. They're out from under, if you like, the shadow of the man who did this to them. There's a team, though, of 5 people working full-time to make sure the family's safe.
I wanted to ask you a more general question and close with that. If you can comment for me about the power of the documentary.
We often hear that documentary brings us all these important stories from around the world that we didn't know before, and that's powerful. That's true, and that's sort of the journalistic power of documentary. But those stories are never powerful because they're new. It's never that, oh, here's some important new information we didn't know. Those stories are powerful if they really are impactful. It's because there's a moment when you watch the film where you recognize yourself, where you feel, oh no, is this what we are as human beings? Is this what we can do to each other? Is this what it would mean to have to live as Adi's parents in fear and in silence for half a century? Is this what it would do to my life and my body and how many people around me are living like this? Oh no, is this really us? Yes, it is. And that moment of recognition is what makes documentaries impactful, and that's not the shock of the new. That's the shock of the familiar. And so in that sense, nonfiction film, like any art, is powerful when it holds up a mirror. When viewers don't see your work as a window onto a far-off phenomenon about which they should learn and for which they can congratulate themselves for having taken the time to learn. But rather, nonfiction film is powerful and impactful, whatever its subject, when it invites you, forces you, cajoles you, seduces you to look in a mirror and encounter yourself, a familiar self, but in a new way and for the first time.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.